Welcome to my channel Techify with Adil. So today in this video we will be learning about enrolling Windows devices in Intune. So enrolling personal and organization owned devices in Intune can significantly enhance your organization's security and device management capabilities. Enrolling a device establishes a connection between the device and Intune, allowing you to manage and control the device remotely. So once enrolled, the device will receive the policies and profiles you created, including email, Wi-Fi, security settings, and more configurations. So these policies and profiles can be customized to meet your organization's specific needs, ensuring your devices are configured and secured in accordance with your policies. Enrolling personal devices in Intune can be particularly useful for organizations allowing employees to use their own devices, that is BYOD, for work purposes. With Intune, you can ensure that these devices are configured and secured properly without taking full control of the device or accessing personal data. This helps to maintain a balance between work and personal use of the device. Overall, enrolling the personal and organization owned devices in Intune is a powerful tool for device management and security, allowing organizations to maintain control over their devices and protect their data. Especially this third point, like allowing the user's personal device to use for the accessing the corporate data becomes more flexible with this Intune, because it's creating a virtual partition, like it's a personal data and also the organization data. Only the organization data and organization related information is accessed or controlled by this Intune, and the personal space is always controlled by the user. So the employees will not have any issues as their entire device, like mobile or iPad, is being managed by the organization. So enrolling Windows devices can be done through various methods. Like enrolling devices into Microsoft Intune for device management has many ways to do that. So some are user driven and an IT administrator control some. Some exist to support BYOD program, and others are streamlined modern provisioning scenarios and management for corporate owned devices. So each enrollment method can have different setup requirements and behavior. So here user driven meaning, like the backend, the settings will be the setup, creation, everything will be done. Once the machine reaches the user can just log in and the user can complete the setup. So no need any IT or IT administrators or IT support for the setup. The other part is that IT administrators control, so they are the one who complete the setup and hand it over to the users. So first method is add work or school account through this. The second method will be enrolling in MDM only. This is user driven. Method 3 is Microsoft Entra join. Method 4 is Microsoft Entra join autopilot method. So this is user driven deployment method. Then method 5 is Microsoft Entra join as well, autopilot, but this is a self deploying mode. Method 6 is enroll in MDM only, device enrollment manager, using this. Method 7 is configuration manager co-management, and method 8 will be Microsoft Entra join. This is bulk enrollment. So we can use all these 6 methods based on the scenarios and based on the requirement. We can choose the method which we want to use it for the deployment. So the first method of adding work or school account. So once you log into your computer, then you can see under the settings, you can see the email and accounts tab. So there, if you find this connect, then click on connect, then it will open a prompt for you to enter your organizational email address. So once you enter your organization email address here, next then it will just proceed for the enrollment. So for this you must have Entra ID P1 or P2 license, and your Microsoft Entra tenant has auto enrollment for Intune configured. So your device will also be enrolled into Intune during this process. So this method is preferred when autopilot isn't used in the environment. You would provide users with the instructions on the accessing the setup, work or school account for settings app. So we just can provide them the instructions or guide. Since the PC is already in the login state, so the user can just follow the steps, follow the guide to complete the enrollment, and this will also configure the machine to the Intune as well. So we can have the control, we can have deployments and control through the Intune. So this is the first method for using, but this method, to take notice, you should have this license P1 or P2 Entra license. So the method 2 is enrolling only in device management. So here we go to the same settings, then email accounts tab. So instead of using the connect here, we will be having another option called enroll only in device management. So click that and you will have a similar prompt and use your work account and follow the instructions. So this enrollment method will only enroll the device in Intune and not to Microsoft Entra join the device. So you will only use this form to enrollment in environments that don't have Microsoft Entra ID P1 or P2 licenses required to enable auto enrollment of devices into Intune. So if you don't have your P1 P2 license but you just want to manage the device, you're not creating a Microsoft Entra join, so just you're adding this device to the Intune to manage it, only the device management, then we can go for this method. Also this also will be the user can do this, just we send them the guide and setup process, then user can proceed with the setup. Then for the method 3 is Microsoft Entra join. So this enrollment method does the same as the method 1, with one exception is this device is enrolled during out of box experience, meaning that before the OS, like the first method is the user already will be in the login, after the login they will be in the Windows page, or they can still they are using the notebook, they can go to the settings and they can do it on any time. But this one is before the login state, that is while the after the installation of the OS, then we do the basic settings to go into the Windows login. So at that stage is the where we will be doing the enrollment. So this device will be Microsoft Entra joined, choosing setup of an organization and using the work account to join your work account to sign in, same as the method 1. If you have Microsoft Entra ID P1 or P2 license and your Microsoft Entra tenant has auto enrollment for Intune configured, your device will also be enrolled into Intune. So you can see everything is similar as method 1. The only difference is this is done out of box experience, that is before the OS, the Windows page, and the first method is the user after using the computer anytime they just can go to the settings tab and from there they can do it. So if you have a Microsoft Entra ID P1 and P2 license and your Microsoft Entra tenant has enrollment, then we just use this method. So this method will be used when you need direct access to your users and their devices. This could be a remote office where the devices are delivered directly to with Windows pre-installed, typically Windows Pro edition. The user then powers on the machine and joins the Microsoft Entra ID during out-of-box experience. The device is enrolled in Intune and will receive apps and configuration from Intune. The version of Windows is typically uplifted to Windows Enterprise Edition using an Intune profile setting. So the user, we can just send the machine to the user with the OS pre-installed, and once the user on the machine, power up the machine, then they will come with this sign up, the startup page, then where they can sign in with username and password with Office 365 or other business services from Microsoft, and just they proceed with the setup. So once they log in, the PC itself is already will be Microsoft enrolled, and this will also be in the Entra join. The fourth method is Microsoft Entra join autopilot user driven deployment method. So in this enrollment method, that's the same as the method 2. So previous one was similar to method 1, and there's only change, small difference, that's the experience will be out of box experience. So this is similar to the method 2, and also this is also the experience setting up is during the out of box experience. So this enrollment method does the same as method 2 with few exceptions. The device is enrolled during the out of box experience, which is customized and not from the settings app. Many of out of box experience screens can be skipped to ensure smoother setup experience for end users. If configured, the desktop will first be shown to the user when installed software and policies are applied. This method is preferred for enrolling devices in Intune, but it requires Microsoft Entra ID P1 or P2 licenses, and your Microsoft Entra tenant has enrollment for Intune configured. So we must need all these settings, but this is a user driven deployment method as well, and this method will help for skipping few initial setup, because the previous one this will go through all the settings page of Windows, and this method we can skip few settings page of the initial setup page of Windows, so which helps for auto user driven deployment method. And the next method, method 5, is Microsoft Intra Join Autopilot Self-Deploying Mode. So this enrollment method basically does the same as method 4, the previous this method. With one exception is it allows all out-of-box experience screens to be skipped. Like here we will have all the out-of-box screens which we have to which the user will be experiencing, and here some of the screens can be customized to be skipped, and here all the screens will be skipped, meaning all the screen whatever the settings the user sets up will be pre-set up in the through the Intune, so it has control there, so everything will be by default. So Microsoft Entra Join and Intune enrollment are fully automated with no user interactions at all. So this type of enrollment is primarily for user-less devices such as kiosk, but it can also be used for normal users. So you can pre-assign a user to the device, so all the user has to supply is a password. So this setup is the most streamlined compared to other methods. So just once the machine is powered up, already all the setup will be there, so everything will be configured by default. So we just have to, the user just will have to set the password to the, supply the password to the login, then just proceed to work. So usually they use it for less user active settings up like kiosk machines, and also for normal users where we don't want the user to spend time, or we don't want the user to spend their thing to the setup, we can use this method. So enrollment in MDM only, so device enrollment manager. This method of enrollment is like a method 3, except it's performed by IT admins using a special type of account. So a device enrollment manager account. So this will be the account of the IT administrator. So they will be using this account for the setup. So the devices are enrolled and prepared by users before handing them out. So the device enrollment manager would enroll the device, log on to the company portal, and install the apps required by the user. This account can enroll up to 1,000 devices into Intune. The IT administrator who performs the enrollment must have access to local administrator credentials to complete the enrollment from the settings menu. For more information about a DEM, then you can refer to the enrollment rules. So this is the important thing to take notice. So this method can be used to set up only by the IT admins because it requires the special account called DEM. So you can see in the left side the screenshot. So device enrollment managers, this is actually the Intune portal. So there will be an tab device enrollment manager. So here you can add or remove device enrollment managers. So once the person you add here, once you're adding the IT admin here, so he will be able to do this enrollment method. So enroll the MDM only, so using device enrollment manager. Next is the 7th method. So configuring manager co-management. So co-management enables you to manage Windows devices concurrently by using both Configuration Manager and Intune. It's a solution that bridges traditional to modern management and gives you a path to transition using a phased approach. So co-management is the preferred way to enroll existing devices. Microsoft Configuration Manager is already managing that. So once they enable, the device can be managed by Configuration Manager and Intune using the best features of both. So this one we can compare to a hybrid setup, because the PC or the machines is already has the traditional way of managing through the Configuration Manager, and we are adding it to the Intune management. So it can be managed by both. It's like a transition phase. So it already has the existing Configuration Manager management, and we are bringing in it to the Intune. So this kind of setup is the method 7. And the last one is Microsoft Entra Join. So this is a bulk enrollment. So bulk enrollment is an efficient way to set up many devices to be managed by Intune without to need to re-image the device. So you enable bulk enrollment by creating a provisioning package using the Windows Configuration Designer app from the store. You then apply this package during the out-of-box experience to run it from the settings app. If you want to make the enrollment process as easy as possible for the users, you can use this method instead of method 1. You don't have to give users instruction on how to set up a work or school account from the settings app. You provide them the provisioning package, and all they need to do is set it to enroll in Microsoft Entra ID Intune. So this method can replace the method 1, but this one is like a bulk enrollment. So very similar to the method 1, just it can skip all the initial setup settings. We no need to provide the instructions to the user. So just the user will need to select it to enroll in Microsoft Entra ID and Intune. So once that's done, the rest all is taken care by the system. So this is the 8th method. So we can use all these 8 methods to enroll the Windows devices to Intune or Entra ID to manage them.